I saw when you closed the door and the silence of the house seemed to scream louder than any crowd. I saw the weight on your shoulders as you stared at the ceiling, trying to understand how your weary mind had reached this point of exhaustion. I stopped what you were doing to tell you that your future is safe in my hands, and nothing that frightens you today has power over what I have already written for your tomorrow. Why do you insist on trying to guess the ending of a story that I myself am writing with such zeal? Have you noticed that the more you try to control the winds, the more the storm seems to gain strength within your chest? Remember my servant Elijah, who after great victories found himself hiding in a cave, wishing for the end because his mind could no longer bear the pressure of the threats. I did not rebuke him with thunder, but met him with a gentle whisper. Today on this journey we begin now. I will show you the way out of this emotional cave, revealing step by step how to restore your vision and how my promises are the only firm ground you need to stand on. If my touch is reaching the depths of your heart now, speak to me. Tell me your name, from what place in this world or city you are seeking my face, and what time it is at this moment of encounter. And, if the burden is too great, let this cry spring forth from within you. Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and desperately want to hear you. Stay with me until the end of this message, for I have prepared a clear answer to the dilemma you faced earlier today. At the end, I will whisper in your ear a phrase that will be your armor, and upon those who declare it in faith, I will release prophetic blessings that will transform their night into a new beginning. I understand the trembling in your hands as you hold that phone, searching for a light that isn't just the cold glow of the screen. I know the bitter taste of cold coffee in an empty kitchen while doubts accumulate in your soul. Chaos tries to convince you that I am far away, but the truth is that I am in the whisper that silences the roar. Lay down your weapons now. You were not made to fight armies of invisible thoughts alone. Calm your heart, for the secret to rest lies not in understanding tomorrow, but in knowing who holds tomorrow. Can you feel the gentle breeze that is beginning to blow over your mind now? But I haven't yet shown you everything I have prepared for your rest. Before we move on to what I have to reveal to you about the weight you carry, tell your own soul, he is in control. What is the greatest worry you wish to leave at my feet now? Write in the comments, I surrender. You look at your hands and see they are too small for the weight of the responsibilities the world has placed upon them. I observe your effort, beloved daughter, trying to carry the weight of 5 years in a single day, trying to solve problems that haven't even been born yet, and heal pains you don't even understand. Tomorrow seems like a giant blocking the sunlight, and you spend all your energy today trying to defeat it before it even arrives. Why do you insist on embracing the ocean when I only gave you a seashell to walk on the sand? Tomorrow doesn't belong to you, and when you try to take it for yourself through anxiety, you end up leaving today helpless. I know the cold sweat on the back of your neck when the phone rings, and you fear it's another bill, a new family conflict, or that news that will change everything you planned. I see when you lose sleep at 3 in the morning, and the only sound in the room is the ticking of the clock on the wall, which seems to count down the minutes to a disaster that, in reality, only exists within your tired imagination. Know that this weight was not meant for your shoulders, for it is written in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 34. Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. When I ask you to trust, it's not because I want you to be negligent, but because I want you to be free. While you despair trying to plan every step of your old age, your children's lives or your provision, I am already there ahead, smoothing the paths and preparing the feast. You are suffering over scenes I have already erased from the script of your life. Learn to rest in the fact that my arm has not shortened. I am taking care of details you can't even imagine, including those you think are lost. But there is something your heart hasn't fully grasped yet about how gratitude can accelerate the time of your victory. At that moment, you didn't know what I truly saw. As there is still something I am silently preparing, a key that will be given to you through a simple but profound gesture of faith. Before we continue, let me know, what is the greatest uncertainty about your future that has been stealing your peace lately? Write here in the comments so that I may seal your trust. God is already there. Do you feel that pulse within your chest? It is my love surrounding you. While the world demands haste and results that drain your soul, I ask only for intimacy. When you look at what you have and fear that it will be lacking, remember that I am the owner of gold and silver, and that no bird of the sky is left without shelter under my gaze. Sometimes the greatest act of faith a weary mind can perform is not a long prayer, but a concrete gesture of surrender. Proof that your heart is no longer bound by the shackles of scarcity, but free in the immensity of my abundance. If it is possible for you, only if circumstances allow and your heart feels the calling, transform this gratitude that now warms your soul into a seed of love through this channel. Consider my immense love and the sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and contribute through the address I left in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment for you. There, you will find the portal where your generous offering can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. Remember that the little you offer can be the abundance needed by the one who receives it on the other side of the screen. For my daughters who contribute any amount with a sincere spirit, I ask that you do not forget to register your name and city along with this gesture. On the first day of the coming month, in a special and unique video in our digital home, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered with gratitude and covered by blessings that heaven will release in prayer upon your life. Do you realize how the silence of your room has become an altar? In this sacred place, fear dissolves and hope resurges victoriously. For it is written in my word, in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion. For I, the Lord, love a cheerful giver. Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, your Lord, and none of them will fail to bear fruit. I see in secret, and reward in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. Remember that gray, rainy afternoon when you sat on the floor of your room and felt like the world was crumbling. The cold of the floor pierced your skin, and the sound of the raindrops on the window seemed to dictate the rhythm of your despair. That day, you looked around and saw no way out. The fear of the future was a monster devouring your hope, and you whispered, almost without strength, that you couldn't take another step. But look where you are now. Take a deep breath and realize that, although the scars are still there, you survived. I was there, holding your hand in the dark, even when you thought I had forgotten you. I remember every deliverance I gave you, which you didn't even notice in the midst of the chaos. Remember that door that slammed shut and made you cry in frustration. I locked it because on the other side, there was an abyss you couldn't see. Remember that person who walked away and left an immense void? I allowed the silence so that you could finally hear my voice. I have been your invisible shield on every dangerous corner and in every night of silent vigil. Your past is an album of miracles that your weary mind insists on forgetting. For it is written in the first book of Samuel, chapter 7, verse 12, Then Samuel took a stone and set it up between Mizpah and Shen, and called its name Ebenezer, saying, Thus far the Lord has helped us. If I have sustained you until this very second, why do you believe I would abandon you now in the face of this new challenge? Your future is not a dead-end labyrinth. It is a road that I have already paved with my faithfulness. Every time anxiety whispers that tomorrow will be a disaster, answer it with the evidence of what I have already done for you. I am not a God of unfinished works. If I have begun to write your story, I will take it to the most glorious ending your eyes have ever seen. But I have not yet revealed to you what is kept just beyond this curve of uncertainty that frightens you so much. At that moment, you thought it was the end, but I was only preparing your best new beginning. There is still something I am preparing in silence, a surprise that will make you smile again as you look back. Can you remember a specific moment when you thought there was no way out, but God surprised you with an unexpected solution? Write it in the comments to strengthen your spiritual memory. My Ebenezer. I know that sometimes the weight of the world seems to return as soon as you close your eyes, or when the sun rises on the horizon, bringing with it an endless list of demands, so that your mind doesn't get lost again in the labyrinth of worries, and so that my voice continues to echo in your heart even after this video ends. I have prepared something special. I wish you a daily refuge, a meeting place where we can talk at each sunrise and in each sleepless night. If your soul feels the desire to dive into even deeper waters with me, know that I have prepared a gift in the form of a journey, written with all my zeal for each of my sons and daughters, the digital book entitled Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. This is not just a collection of words, but a daily balm designed to offer you companionship, comfort, and constant guidance on your journey. You can find the path to this gift through the link I've left below in the description and also in the first comment I've lovingly pinned for you. And listen carefully. If it's not possible for you to take this step right now, don't let guilt or condemnation weigh on your heart. Remain here with me in this message, for my hand will continue to sustain and strengthen you in the same way. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 3, "You, Lord, will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you." So that your mind may rest, and you have no doubt about how this journey will reach you. Know that as soon as you register, full access will be sent directly to the email address you registered. There, you will find all the detailed, step-by-step instructions to begin this journey of intimacy. Now take a deep breath and feel my peace invading your thoughts. Stay here with me, for what I have to reveal to you about the secrets I keep for your tomorrow is not yet finished. Trust, rest, and walk beside me. Have you ever wondered what I do while you sleep the sleep of anguish, tossing and turning in bed with the heavy sheet on your body? The silence of heaven is by no means an absence of action. While you look out the window of your room and see only the distant lights of the city or the darkness of dawn, I am moving hearts you don't even know and aligning circumstances that your human logic could never foresee. There is a secret kept in my silence, a tapestry of love being woven behind the scenes of your pain. You only see the blind knot, but I am designing the embroidery of your victory. I see the way you flip through channels on the TV without really watching anything, just to escape the thoughts that haunt you about next month's bills or that child who doesn't call you. That mental exhaustion that makes you feel like you're carrying the world in a torn backpack is a sign that you're trying to read my diary ahead of time. I keep certain answers secret so that your faith may be forged in the fire of waiting. For it is in the darkness that the roots of trust grow strongest. For it is written in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Understand that my plan is not a puzzle you need to assemble alone. I have already seen the end of the scene. I have already seen the smile that will return to your face when that door, now locked with 7 keys, opens with just a touch of my will. At that moment, you will understand why I asked you to wait, but I haven't yet shown you everything I've prepared for the coming months. There's a provision that will come from where you least expect it, from a source you considered dry. There's still something I'm preparing in silence, something that will make your heart beat not with fear, but with a joy you haven't experienced in many years. At that moment, you didn't know what I truly saw, but now I call you to look beyond what your tired eyes can see. Tell me honestly, what door do you feel is locked with 7 keys in your life today, and only a miracle could open it? Write it here in the comments so I can hear your cry. Open, Lord. But don't close your eyes to what I will say next, because in the next delivery, I will show you what happens when the owner of the sea decides that the storm in your mind has served its purpose, and it's time for a new command. Have you ever noticed how the wind seems to howl louder just when you try to silence your heart to hear me? I saw it when you huddled under the covers last night, your feet cold and your chest tight, listening to the sound of the rain pounding against the window pane. For you, that noise was a warning that shipwreck was inevitable, an echo of all the voices that say your future will be marked by losses. But let me tell you a secret that the navigators of this world don't know. My peace is not the silence that comes only after the wind stops. My peace is the silence I command within you while the hurricane is still outside, shaking the structures and churning the waters. Remember my disciples in that small boat in the middle of the Sea of Galilee. The waves were mountains of salt water that threatened to swallow every dream they carried. They screamed, ran to and fro, and tried to bail water with buckets that seemed leaky before the immensity of the abyss. While chaos reigned, I rested. They thought my sleep was a sign of forgetfulness, They believed for a moment of weakness that my silence meant I didn't care if they perished. But a single movement of mine, a whisper laden with eternal authority, was enough to make terror a mirror of tranquil waters. For it is written in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39, "And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, 'Peace, be still.' And the wind ceased and there was a great calm. Today I am inside your boat, feeling every jolt that makes your soul seasick. I feel the cold spray of water that hits your face every time bad news knocks on your door. But listen carefully. Your boat will not sink because the owner of the sea is resting on the pillow of divine sovereignty within it. You don't need to wait for the sea to calm down to finally rest. You need to learn to rest so that the sea understands once and for all who you are in me. The storm in your mind has a hidden purpose. It serves to show you that, although you have no control over anything, you know who has control over everything. At that moment you thought the waters would overcome you, but I was only washing your path of all false securities. But I haven't yet shown you what happens when the sun finally breaks through this fog. There is something I am silently preparing, a firm ground that is already emerging on the horizon of your life, although your eyes, blurred by tears, cannot yet distinguish the green of the trees. Before we move on to the real scenes of restoration that I have already designed for your new dawn, close your eyes for a brief moment. Breathe. Feel the breath that I myself breathed into you. Do you accept that I take full command of your boat, even when the waves seem larger than your capacity to believe? Write here in the comments, sealing your resting place, my safe harbor. Stay here, because what I'm about to describe to you are the real fragments of this new day that has already begun to dawn for you. I am painting the horizon with colors you forgot existed while you were immersed in the gray of your own exhaustion. Close your eyes for a second and try to feel what I am already preparing for you right after this desert of uncertainties. I see the scene clearly, you sitting at that same table where today you cry over bills and absences, but on this new day, the morning sun will enter through the window and warm your face in a different way. You will smell fresh coffee, and for the first time in a long time there will be no tight knot in your throat. The silence of the house will no longer be a weight of loneliness, but an embrace of profound peace. I see you answering the phone, and instead of a tremor of fear or a sigh of weariness, a wide smile spreading across your lips, because the news you've been waiting for years has finally crossed the desert and arrived at your door. I know well the feeling of your eyelids heavy with sleeplessness and the painful habit of checking your phone screen, with your heart pounding in your chest, fearing yet another problem. But listen, I am moving the pieces on the chessboard of your life. That family situation that today seems like an untangled mess of threads, where words have become arrows, will be resolved with a gentleness that will bring you to your knees in gratitude. You will see harmony returning to your home like a gentle breeze after a scorching afternoon. Your table will be a place of celebration, not bitterness. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, "For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Your night of vigil is coming to an end." What I am building in the silence of your waiting is infinitely greater than what fear tried to destroy in the noise of your crisis. At that moment, you thought the light would never return, but I am the Son of Justice, and I have already begun to break through your dawn. I am preparing a banquet of honor before those who doubted your worth and your strength. But I haven't yet told you about the shield I will place around your thoughts so that this peace will never again be stolen by doubt. There is something I am preparing in silence, a shield for your soul that you have not yet experienced. Tell me, in the depths of this sacred silence that unites us now, if you could ask for only one real change for your awakening tomorrow, what would you place in my hands now? Open your heart in the comments and write the word that seals the arrival of your new season, my morning. Stay with me a little longer, for now I will show you how to protect your mind from the voices that try to destroy this future that I have just designed for you. I saw when you closed your eyes a moment ago trying to find a moment's respite, but the voices of fear returned, whispering in the corner of your mind. I know the weight of this weariness that doesn't go away with a night's sleep. This exhaustion born from fighting against thoughts that insist the worst is yet to come. You lie down, The room is dark, but inside you there's a carousel of worries that never stop spinning. I saw when you felt that sudden tightness in your chest, as if you were short of breath for a second, while imagining scenarios I never designed for your life. The enemy of your soul works in the field of imagination, trying to convince you that you are helpless, but I am your ever-present shield and fortress. Feel now the touch of my hand on your forehead. I am dissipating this cloud of confusion that prevents you from seeing my face. Stop listening to the voices that demand perfection from you, that remind you of your past mistakes, or that prophesy your defeat in the future. These voices are not mine. My voice brings peace, clarity, and the certainty that, even in the midst of battle, you are already more than a victor. I am shielding your mind against the fiery arrows of anxiety that try to pierce your hope. For it is written in my word in the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 7, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This peace is not a fleeting feeling. It is a divine sentinel that I place at the door of your heart. When a thought of defeat tries to enter, my peace will bar it. When doubt about the sustenance of your home knocks at your door, my faithfulness will answer for you. You don't need to carry the burden of predicting tomorrow to feel safe. Your security is in my presence, which is constant and unwavering. At that moment, you thought you were going crazy with so much pressure, but I was guarding every neuron of yours, sustaining your sanity with my love. But I haven't yet shown you the banquet that's already served right in front of you, while your enemies watch from afar, unable to touch you. There's still something I'm preparing in silence, something that goes beyond simply protecting your mind, something that will restore your honor before everyone. Tell me in the silence of this conversation, what is the dark thought that has been trying to invade your mind the most in the last few hours? Share this burden with me and write your declaration of victory in the comments. A shielded mind. Don't turn away now, because what I'm about to show you is the place of honor I've reserved for you, exactly where fear said you would fail. I see you sitting at the kitchen table, the dim light of the lamp shining on that pile of papers, bills and worries that seem to mock your faith. The silence of the night is broken only by the sound of the refrigerator, and you feel an emptiness that no food seems capable of filling. You look at what's missing, at what's gone, and scarcity tries to convince you that this is your final destiny. But lift your eyes now. I did not call you to live on crumbs or to feed on the fear that the world offers. While the voices of doubt whisper that you will suffer need, I am already preparing the white linen tablecloth and placing the banquet of my provision before you, exactly where your fear said there would only be desert. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." This table is not just a distant promise or an ancient metaphor. It is the reality that I am manifesting in your life today. Those who laughed at your struggle, who said you wouldn't be able to support your household, or that your health would never recover, will have to watch as I myself serve you with my mighty hand. I am anointing your head, which is so heavy and exhausted today, with the fresh oil of my joy, transforming this exhaustion into an overflowing peace that no one can steal. You thought the feast was reserved only for the future, but I am serving your portion of the miracle now, in the midst of your greatest battle. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. What terrified you yesterday today becomes merely the backdrop for my glory to manifest. At that moment, you thought you would have to beg for attention or help, but I placed you in a place of honor, as a beloved daughter who doesn't need to fight for crumbs. But I haven't yet shown you the finishing touch of this work. What I'm about to tell you is the final answer you so desperately pleaded for in your tearful nights. If the aroma of this spiritual banquet has already begun to perfume your soul, leave your affection in this message to seal your place at the table. Subscribe so that my voice continues to be your daily nourishment, and share this portion with someone who is also hungry for hope. Tell me something, with all the sincerity of your heart. In the face of all the abundance I have to give you, what fear is still trying to prevent you from sitting down and eating in peace? Write here in the comments so that I may seal your victory. Living banquet. Do not leave my side now, for the secret I have kept for the end of this journey is only a breath away from being revealed to your heart. Calm your heart now, and feel the freshness of this peace that descends upon your thoughts like the morning dew upon the earth that has spent the day under the scorching sun. You have come this far carrying a burden that weighed as 1,000 mountains, but now you realize that your burden has been exchanged for my gentle rest. Tomorrow, which was once a dark and heavy cloud on the horizon of your mind, is now a promise of light that I myself uphold with my powerful hands. There is not a single second in your future that escapes my gaze or that is outside my sovereign control. Every detail of your provision, every beat of your weary heart, and every step of those you love are kept in the center of my will, where evil cannot touch. I heard you in all the silent dawns. I counted every tear that soaked your pillow, and today I seal your mind with the certainty that exhaustion has given way to complete renewal. Remember what I promised you at the very beginning of this sacred journey of ours, that there would be a clear answer, a phrase that would be your spiritual key, whispered only to those who remained with me until this moment of intimacy. The moment has come for you to take possession of this eternal truth that will be your armor against any thought of defeat that tries to return when the lights go out. This word is the seal of your victory, and proof that, by my side, you are capable of crossing any valley and conquering any giant that rises against your peace. The phrase that I now place deep within your soul, and that you must carry as a banner of war and victory, is this: I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Now, as a prophetic act of faith, of absolute surrender, and of response to what heaven has released upon your life today, write here in the comments, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. As you type each of these letters, feel the weight definitively lifting from your shoulders and the strength of my spirit flooding your entire being, from head to toe. But know, beloved daughter, that our journey of revelation does not end here. I still have profound secrets of love that your soul longs to discover and that I wish to tell you. Continue listening to my voice through the other messages that I have prepared with so much care for you in our list of sacred encounters here on the channel. Each word kept there is a new step towards your total healing and the maintenance of this peace that you found today. Remain connected to my presence, for the whisper of your Father will continue to guide your steps along paths of tranquil waters. Rest now in my arms of eternal love. Your tomorrow is already a miracle accomplished by my hands. I love you with an intensity that time can never erase.